I came out of nothing. I was just 19 years of it. I wanted to do it again and again and again.
For some players, winning a major title or doing something surprising, like in terms of winning a match or a tournament, and then having, that struggle to do it again. What did it do to you?
So that second time was really, really important to me. I'm not saying I've stopped playing if I hadn't won it.
What about some of the worst ones?
One of my worst was possibly I was top seed at...
I mean, you and I, we go way back, and you've told me many stories for those behind the camera who haven't heard of them. I remember you telling me a story, and I can't remember if it was this match, but that you had to tell yourself that now you have to pick yourself up, otherwise you're done with the sport.
I decided that I would give myself 1 year to come back to where I believed I should be.
Giving yourself a tough, short deadline, becoming number one again within 1 year is also adding a lot of pressure on yourself. How did you handle it in the game?
So I was, of course, a little nervous now and again.
Hypothetical question, but if Morten Frost was 19 years old today, do you think he would have made it, like getting the same results as you did some years back?
And then the next day in the newspaper he said, that Morten Frost, he's not that quick after all. I heard he was a lot quicker.
Do you have any regrets or anything you would do differently if again you had this time machine that you can go back in time?
I don't regret anything except for one thing.
Tell me about your morning.
My morning? I've been nervous. Been nervous coming here. No, I think it was really great that you reached out the other day and said, okay, let's meet today and let's have a talk and see what we can do. I think if you don't do it, it won't happen. So I think it was really good you did that. And I've actually been looking forward to it. It's really nice to work with Basic and what we're doing. So yes, I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, good. So like the first thing I want to talk about is your career, your own career. So for those who don't know Morten, he's been a 4-time All England winner, 4-time silver in All England. Yeah. What did we say? You won the Grand Prix finals in '84?
Yeah, it's the same as the World Tour finals today.
And you've been number one in the world 7 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
And winning Danish Open, the same thing as Denmark Open, 8 times?
8 times, yes.
So, and many more.
Many more.
Many more. Could you tell me about your best and worst memory in your badminton career?
Oh.
Let's start with the best.
I think you have to sort of divide it up in various groups, because there are the early days, the days where you probably play the best, and then the later days in your career where it's quite painful at times. I would say winning the Danish nationals in 1978, which is, as I say, many years ago, many moons ago. But I came out of nothing. I was just 19 years of age, and I managed to beat world number 1 and 2. They were 2 Danes. They played the World Championship final the year before, and that was obviously a massive thing for me. It was the first time ever I beat them. I was just a young lad. I was just trying my luck and doing the best I could, and then suddenly I managed to be world number 1 and 2. I thought, oh, this is too bad. So that was obviously a really big thing. But I think what is very important is to say that I think it was about 2 weeks later I had to play one of them again in a local tournament, nothing fancy, just a local tournament. But for me, it was really important to win that one as well. So it was not just I managed to do it once.
One-time luck.
No, I wanted to do it again and again and again.
Yeah.
So winning 2 weeks later was actually possibly even more important to me than winning the nationals at the time, which was kind of an interesting take on things. So
I'm a bit surprised that you pick kind of the nationals, because if you look at the CV that I just introduced you with, All England, Denmark Open, Grand Prix finals, all those things, and then you pick the nationals.
Yeah, no, it was because that's when it all started. That's when it all happened. It's suddenly out of the blue. As I said, I beat the 2 best players in the world, possibly, and then suddenly, maybe I should play badminton and not football. So it was an interesting time for me.
Yeah. So what was that experience going into kind of the nationals? Did you know that you could do it, or were you surprised on your own, kind of on your own game?
I had been close a few times prior to the nationals, winning a set, but not really close winning. So I didn't see myself. I didn't fancy my own chances. I just went in and said, okay, let's do the best we can. So it was interesting times as well, because I don't know if you realise, but in Denmark at the time there was only one TV channel, and the semi-final and the final were on national TV 8 o'clock on a Monday night and a Tuesday night. So it was primetime TV, and I played twice in a row there. So suddenly, from being absolutely no one, a lot of people in the country knew who I was, and suddenly there was lots and lots of attention, and newspapers and magazines, and everybody wanted to have an interview, and I was sort of, I don't want to do this. You know me.
Of course. And how did it impact you? Because I think, like, for some players, winning a major title or doing something surprising, like in terms of winning a match or a tournament, and then having, you know, that struggle to do it again, what did it do to you? Because to me right now, it sounds like it was some sort of a tipping point that you never looked back since then.
I think you're right. I think it was very important to me to show that I could do it one more time. So that second time was really, really important to me. I'm not saying I've stopped playing if I hadn't won it and all that. Of course I would have continued, but it gave me a belief that this is possible. I can do it, and I think that's really important. So second time around was really important to me.
So besides the belief, like, did you do anything different mentally, or how did you handle it? Because it is very difficult to do it twice and do it again and again and again.
It is very difficult. I think it's just boost your confidence and give you the belief that it can be done. And just go out there, do your best. Not too many thoughts, just go for it.
Okay, good. So that was the nice experience, a great memory of yours. If we look back again, what about some of the worst ones?
I obviously would like to just add on that I had plenty of really good ones. Tons of good tournaments and wins and experiences. One of my worst was possibly I was top seed at the World Championship in 1983, and it was played here in Copenhagen, and home ground advantage, everything was just aligned, so to speak, and it did not go so well. I lost the quarterfinal to Ichuk Sugiyato. He played really well. He went on to win the tournament, so really well done for him. But it was more the way that I lost it. I was not really there, and I think somehow, due to the pressure I put on myself, I had too much kind of building up a block, I think. So I couldn't perform, and it took me months and months before I realised that I'd been in such a low situation at that championship in May '83. So it took me about 3 to 4 months to sort of find myself again. It was immensely disappointing, and as I say, not the fact that I didn't win it, but the fact that I lost the way I lost it.
So, and what do you mean the way you lost it? So for those who haven't watched the game, how would you describe it?
I could accept, let's say, if I, in the old days, under the old scoring system, lost setting in the third, or, was really close, because that's the way it should have been. But as I remember it, I can't even remember the scores anymore. It was you
luckily forgot it.
you put it away. But I think that I probably lost 15-7, 15-8. I was not close at all. That was
so that's maybe equal to losing 21-10 today, or 21-12, something like that.
Nowhere near.
Yeah. Okay. And is that, I mean, you and I, we go way back, and you've told me many stories for those behind the camera who haven't heard of them. I remember you telling me a story, and I can't remember if it was this match, but that you had to tell yourself that now you have to pick yourself up, otherwise you are done with the sport. Yeah. Was that from the World Championship, or was that another game?
It was on the back of the World Championship. It was on the back of that tournament. It took me many months, as I said, to pick myself up. I remember in autumn '83, I decided that I would give myself 1 year to come back to where I believed I should be. And
that was top 3, top 4?
One.
Okay.
Ambitious.
That's good.
Ambitious, but it started with a tournament, sort of a Danish international tournament, and I remember I made that decision. I have to try to come back. And it was a very, very nervous start. I think I was close to leave the tournament 2 or 3 times prior to the final. I actually eventually went into, and it was sort of really close now and again. Managed to overcome it, got to the final, and then suddenly started to click again. Okay. And I played really well in the final. I think, as I remember, I beat Prakash Padukone, which was a good win for me at the time. And then from there, I kind of never looked back. But I gave myself that 1 year to try to get back to number 1, and I managed to do so. But it was really a conscious decision.
And for most players, and giving yourself a tough, short deadline, becoming number 1 again within 1 year is also adding a lot of pressure on yourself. How did you handle it in the game? Because again, for most, they will probably think about it when they are, it's 13 all.
Yeah, but I always tend to look at it, not just one match. I always look at it in the bigger picture. And if I played well 2 tournaments and then I had a bad one, that's okay. If I play 1 good tournament and 2 bad ones, possibly not so okay. But it was always sort of an average of where I thought I was supposed to be and how I should play. So I was, of course, a little nervous now and again, but quite quickly regained my confidence, and suddenly my play really went quite nicely, and I got back to world number 1, and it was interesting times. But it was more in those days. We didn't earn a lot of money as what they do today. So you have to look at your life in a different perspective, I would say. You can't carry on, not earning a lot of money, sitting somewhere lower down the ranking and say, I continued for another 10 years and so on. You have to sort of self-reflect, look at your life, look at how it's all working out, and if it's not working out, then you've got to get your qualifications, you've got to have a normal civil job, and take it from there. So it's all those thoughts coming into your head at the same time.
And I mean, did you do anything specifically to handle it on a mentally? Did you go see a psychologist, or how? Because it's such a tough thing, being on court and having all these things going in your life. I mean, I have been on the court as well. I mean, it's really difficult to block things out and just focus on the game, especially again with a tough deadline that I need to come back to number 1. Who taught you that?
Yeah, that's obviously it's 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
We didn't have that kind of support as what players are having today. I had no physical trainer. I had no coach. I had no psychologist I could talk to. I had no one. I just had myself. Possibly a few friends that you're discussing a few things with now and again. But it is completely self-made.
Yeah.
And I think this self-reflection is possibly one of the most important parts of being a badminton player or being a sports person. You have to be absolutely brutally honest to yourself.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that and really have that self-reflection, it's really hard to continue and build your game and build yourself as a person. So you have to be extremely tough on yourself and ask some very, very hard questions now and again.
Yeah. And of course this is a hypothetical question, but if Morten Frost was 19 years old today, do you think he would have made it, like getting the same results as you did some years back?
I really, really don't know. It's always a discussion between people, or who is the greatest of all times and all that. And to me, for instance, I believe that the best player I've ever seen play is Lin Dan. I really think he's absolutely fantastic, but I guarantee you that give it another 20, 25 years, a lot of people can't remember how he played, and some new is on the scene, and then everybody will be raving about this person and say, oh, he would easily beat Lin Dan. But Lin Dan was playing in a time of his own, and we all played a time of our own.
Yeah.
Whether I had the talent to be a good player today, I don't know. But I think it's an interesting thought. In 1981, China came into
the world scene.
The IBF, as it was called at the time, International Badminton Federation. Before that, China did not take part. So the All England before 81, China did not take part. At the World Championship, they did not take part. But I still remember when I was a young person growing up, China sometimes came to Copenhagen with an exhibition team. And they played all the All England champions of Denmark and all that, and they beat them so easily.
Okay, so you knew they were out there.
So we always knew that China was out there somewhere. And can you imagine when I was 22, 23? So then suddenly this is the bar, this is the level, and then suddenly out of the blue we're building it up to here, and within that very short period of time you have to catch up. And that's really, really hard. Players of today, they know how the Chinese players are playing. They know how Asian players are playing. We didn't know that at the time. So you can imagine what it would be like that suddenly you have to raise the bar by 200% or something to try to follow pace. And I still remember there was we played a match against China in Brøndbyhallen, and I played Han Jan. And he didn't know anything about me. I didn't know anything about him. Went on the court, we started warming up, and I said, oh, I can win this one. I thought inside myself, and I'm telling you, it took 25 minutes, and I was out. I've lost 8-8 or something. And then the next day in the newspaper, he said, oh, that Morten Frost, he's not that quick after all. I heard he was a lot quicker. So you can imagine, it was all about really trying to pick up, and it was not so easy. But very interesting.
So I mean, talking about a country like China coming in, raising the bar with a lot. Thinking back, who's the toughest opponent that you faced?
I think I've been extremely lucky to play against tons of really good players. Because I was playing at the top for perhaps 12 to 15 years. And it meant that I played Rudi Hartona I've beaten Rudy Hartona. Not a lot of people have done that.
Yeah.
I've done that, even when I was very young. Obviously, Lim Swee King, I think, was a fantastic player at the time.
Yeah.
Tons of good matches against him. But for me, the toughest was Yang Yang.
Yeah? Why?
He just had me somewhere. He sussed my game. He knew it. We played really a lot of very close matches, but he won a lot. I think, in fairness, I probably won the first 11-12 encounters.
Yeah.
And then I lost the next 11-12 encounters. So I think it's quite even.
Yeah.
But when he got the first win, I never managed to beat him again.
He got that belief, maybe.
Yeah, he got that really belief. I was on his list.
Yeah, okay. But was it sometimes you can also have, your own game is suited very well to certain players, and some players, their game is suited very well to your game. Yeah. Was that the thing with Yang Yang, that his game was just suited?
Yeah, China at the time had two players. They played quite similar, Yang Yang and Zhao Jinhua. Zhao was a lot more risk-taking than Yang Yang, but they had similar style. Yeah. I loved playing Zhao. Yeah. I know I lost an all in the final setting.
But you could get the easy mistakes, maybe.
Yeah, and I feel that I had his number. Yeah. It was okay. I beat him most times. It was okay, even though he was similar style, but he was just a little bit more impatient. Yeah. Where Yang Yang had all the same things, but had that patience to keep playing me, and eventually found the gaps and so on. Yeah. So Yang Yang was a bit tricky for me. Yeah. Okay. And I have a very good friend that's going I think it's to Malaysia in January for Yang Yang's daughter's wedding. Okay. So we're still friends today. We're still keeping into contact a little bit, and it's really nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Making friends.
Yeah.
While being enemies.
Yeah, for life. Friends for life.
Yeah. That's good. Which, again, when you were playing, were there any player that inspired you and kind of helped you develop your own game?
I think I got inspiration from a lot of people. I spent a lot of time in the hall, in the stadium, wherever we were playing.
Because back then you didn't have YouTube. You couldn't just go online and find it.
Nope. Yeah. You couldn't see anything. You had nothing. Yeah. So you were just sitting in the hall and you were watching other players play. And very often I thought, that was a fantastic shot. Could I bring that into my game, or have I not got that ability to do so? So I was really taking a little bit from everyone. But there was a player from Sweden, his name was Thomas Kihlström. Okay. He played, to me, a really nice game. Yeah. I really enjoyed watching him play, and he has won a medal in all three disciplines at the World Championship. Not a lot of people know that. Yeah. So he's won a men's singles bronze, I think he won. Yeah. And then in doubles and mixed, he's world champion in mixed. Yeah. So he was a really good all-rounder. When I was young and growing up, I played him. I lost to him on a number of occasions and managed eventually to beat him. But he was a very good player, very good all-rounder. I really admired his game. Yeah. And
you were a very good all-rounder as well.
I was an all-rounder as well, so maybe that's what suited it.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I think like the closing thing on your career, looking back, do you have any regrets or anything you would do differently if again you had this time machine that you can go back in time?
Yeah, I very often have this question, and whether you regret something, and I would say I don't regret anything except for one thing. I didn't enjoy it enough. Yeah, I keep saying it. It was playing the final on a Sunday. Yeah. And win or lose or whatever, I'm telling you, it took 10 minutes. Yeah. And your mind was on the match on the following Wednesday or Thursday, whenever the tournament started. Yeah. and it was all about preparation for that match.
Yeah.
So it took 10 minutes before you sort of switched into something else, another mode, and say, okay, now it's the next match.
Yeah.
Which meant that, you know, I could have won the All England, but I never really celebrated it. I'm not saying that we have to go out and celebrate big parties and all that, but inside myself, I didn't give myself time to celebrate it. I was always on the next target, target.
So was that, you know, taking a week, a break, that just giving yourself time to enjoy it? Or?
Impossible. Yeah. It never happened.
Yeah.
It was always, the max I could do was a day. And then I was out there with the running shoes, back in the hall and doing the training, and on to the next match.
Yeah, but how, if we kind of perspective to the World Tour today, with a lot of tournaments out there, and the players playing 3 or 4 weeks in a row, that it is difficult to enjoy it today as well. I mean, if you win a tournament, what would you recommend these players to do?
I know there's a lot of pressure on the players, and they do play a lot of tournaments, and there are players saying it's too much.
Yeah.
I completely understand, and I can see it from their point of view. I can also see it from the BWF point of view, and say, okay, we need more exposure, we need to get out there, we need to have the best players in all the tournaments, and you know, it's always...
And it's not just in badminton, it's also in tennis.
It's everywhere, and it's to try to find that balance.
Yeah.
And I really think that Victor Axelsen has done it really well on occasions where he had a really great win. It could be a world champ, it could be the All England, the Olympics is more or less given because there's not a lot happening afterwards. But I think he's been really good to take some time off and say, okay, I'm really not in it at the moment. I need some time to regroup and get back into it. And I think Victor's probably one of the players who's done that really well. Yeah,
yeah. So your advice to the players today is take some time in certain periods to give yourself an opportunity to reflect and enjoy.
And exactly, rest a bit and rest your mind. And I didn't do that well enough. And that's probably my biggest regret.
Yeah. Let's close it there.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Morten.
That was a long talk.